They call it the Alien Bible. It appeared mysteriously and is said to hold the key to the universe. A book said to be written by celestial beings that guides humans around the world.
When I got a hold of the Urantia book, it was like, wow, this is it.
Secrets of Urantia. This is Strange Universe, the phenomenal daily news magazine. Now, Emmett Miller.
It's a mystical book that some people say simply fell from the sky. Nobody knows who wrote it. It's been circulating quietly around the world for decades, and only now are people starting to admit that they live by it. Your neighbors, your coworkers, your favorite celebrities, all of them united by a book that they keep under their pillows. The Alien Bible.
And when I got a hold of the Urantia book, it was like, wow, this is it.
For me, it had answered all the questions I ever had and raised us twice as many.
And the Urantia book is here to update us.
It's finally emerged from the spiritual underground. It's commonly referred to as the Blue Book. It may have had a connection to the infamous Roswell incident of 1947. It was possibly the inspiration for Star Trek. It may have had an impact on Elvis Presley and been a kind of muse for Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead. It's reportedly even made it to the White House, where some say it's been spotted on one of the president's bookshelves.
It's entirely possible that President Clinton has the Urantia book. As to whether he reads it or not is another matter. It's
called the Urantia book. Others simply call it the Alien Bible. We went in search of the truth about the Urantia book. We tracked down a diverse legion of believers who agreed to tell us what they know. They range from young converts to longtime believers who've been around longer than the book itself.
I read the book straight through, 2,100 pages, and most of that was done at night.
These people helped us trace the story of the Urantia book back to 1935, when legend has it, a man in Chicago was contacted by aliens who called the planet Earth Urantia and gave him words of wisdom for our world.
They chose somebody that did not have an ego, somebody who would not present himself off as a messiah or a prophet.
The anonymous channeler reportedly died in 1955. His text was then published for the first time, but there was still trepidation about exposing it to the general public.
There was never an effort to keep the Urantia book secret, but there has always been a tendency for slow growth rather than fast growth.
Urantia believers admit that one of the main concerns was an angry backlash from traditional Judeo-Christians. Because the Urantia book is essentially a retelling of the Holy Bible, allegedly by extraterrestrials. For example, the Urantia book claims Adam and Eve were dispatched from another universe to colonize Earth.
Adam and Eve came at a time when things were very bleak, tried to uplift the planet, got a little impatient with things, and their mission defaulted.
Urantia's heaven is actually a place called Paradise Isle. Its concept of hell is simply an end of existence for those who choose to disobey the law of God. But most of the controversy centers on Urantia's telling of the life and significance of Jesus Christ.
Most Bible scholars agree that the Bible only tells of about 29 days of Jesus' life on this planet.
The Urantia book devotes more than a third of its pages to the man it calls Jesus of Nazareth. It agrees with the original Bible that he was indeed the divine Son of God, but it contends that Jesus was only one of many similar holy offspring spread throughout many galaxies.
I'm continually surprised how much of Christianity and what's in the Bible is true. And it's just that it's kind of sketchy and kind of partial.
The followers of Urantia don't have a formal church. Some read the book by themselves, others in small study groups. Very few preach it.
Urantia book readers are very intelligent. There are many lawyers and doctors and scientists who read the Urantia book.
One of the few public expressions of Urantia faith can be found at the Anything Goes Venice Beach in Los Angeles.
We don't believe in proselytizing. We're just here to make ourselves available to answer questions and enlarge people's concepts of reality.
Although Urantia followers prefer to keep a low profile, their fellowship has included some illustrious names. The late Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek.
It's obvious to me that he got a lot of material from the Urantia book for the Star Trek series.
The Grateful Dead's late great leader Jerry Garcia, who reportedly read every word.
And if you listen closely to those words of the Grateful Dead songs, I think you'll find a lot of material that came from the Urantia book.
Even the legend known as the King was a reputed Blue Book reader.
I have heard that Elvis was a reader, but I can't confirm that or deny it.
But perhaps the most powerful reader of all may be the United States government, or at least that section of it that deals with UFOs, the Air Force. Some Urantia believers point out that the alleged crash of an alien craft in Roswell, New Mexico, 1947, came only 12 years after the initial appearance of the Blue Book. They also point out an odd coincidence, the government's code name for its subsequent investigations of ET visitations.
It was called Project Blue Book, and that project was headquartered at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio.
A lot of people who believe in UFOs like to consider the Urantia book a book filled with aliens. Aliens, no. Spiritual beings, celestial beings, angels, yes. If you consider angels and celestial beings aliens, yes, the Urantia book is full of aliens.
From the government's point of view, its Blue Book on Roswell is officially closed. But this Blue Book is just beginning to be opened.
Once enough people start to realize what this book is about, it'll take the world by storm. And quite frankly, it'll scare a lot of people because it is so full of truth. It's the same way that Jesus' life scared the heck out of people back then, and they crucified him.
We called the White House to ask if they really had the Urantia book. They told us they weren't sure, but it's definitely a possibility.